In exchange for prosecutors to take the death penalty off of the table, yesterday in a Rockingham County Circuit courtroom, 48-year-old Hareton Jaime Rodriguez Sariol pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the murders of 48-year-old Elizabeth Rodriguez Rubio and 12-year-old Angie Carolina Rodriguez Rubio. Rockingham County Commonwealth's Attorney Marsha Garst laid out the details of the crime in open court yesterday, and we must warn you, they are graphic and horrific. On August 6th, 2017, the Rubio's family reported them missing. They told authorities that the pair had caught a ride from Sariol the day before in Harrisonburg and were supposed to arrive at Elizabeth Rubio's home in Maryland but never did. On August 7th, the Virginia State Police issued an Amber Alert. Meanwhile, the Harrisonburg Police Department obtained a warrant for Sariol's arrest on abduction charges. Sariol was apprehended in Pennsylvania, but there was no sign of Elizabeth or her granddaughter Angie. Sariol was extradited back to Virginia. The Commonwealth's Attorney's Office cut Sariol a deal. If he would tell them where the bodies were, they would take the death penalty off of the table. On September 5th, Sariol confessed to the murders and led authorities to the bodies of the victims. Sariol admitted to having an obsession with 48-year-old Elizabeth Rubio. Sariol was supposed to drive Rubio and her granddaughter Angie back to Rubio's home in Maryland that afternoon after church. Video surveillance shows Sariol and the Rubios in his red Honda Civic at AMG Express, a trucking company where Sariol was employed at the time. Around 3:30 p.m., the video shows the red Honda leave the trucking company. Elizabeth Rubio was driving, Sariol was in the passenger seat, and Elizabeth's granddaughter Angie was in the back seat. According to evidence, they headed north on I-81, heading to Maryland. Around mile marker 257, Elizabeth Rubio veered off the road and hit a ditch. The small wreck caused Angie to hit her head. Elizabeth Rubio went to the back seat to check on Angie. While Elizabeth was in the back seat checking on Angie, Sariol looked through Elizabeth's phone, which had been in her purse on the front seat. Sariol saw a text message in her phone that made him angry and jealous. According to Sariol, he had given Elizabeth a .22 caliber handgun for protection, and that too was in her purse. He pulled the gun out and pointed it towards Elizabeth in the back seat. But as he pulled the trigger, 12-year-old Angie Rubio jumped to her grandmother's defense and was shot in the head. Sariol then shot Elizabeth Rubio in the head and chest. All this happened right on the side of Interstate 81. Sariol then covered the bodies and drove around for hours with the bodies in his car. Video surveillance shows Sariol at Mr. B's Welcome Center on North Valley Pike. He stopped at his job again, then purchased $53.94 worth of gas from the Liberty gas station on North Liberty Street in Harrisonburg. Approximately 20 minutes after that, he went to the Walmart on Route 42 and could be seen purchasing knives, gloves, and lighters. Later, under the cloak of darkness, Sariol drove to the Shenandoah National Park in Greene County, where he dumped the bodies and decapitated both of the victims. He placed their heads in a bag and put the bag in his car. At 12:44 a.m. on August 6th, he returned to his job and placed the bag with the victims' heads in his truck, a 2000 Volvo tractor trailer. He then drove his car to Warren County and set it on fire. Authorities found the vehicle off of I-66 about an hour later. Inside the vehicle, they found a .22 caliber shell casing. The next day, Sariol buried the victims' heads in Shenandoah County. Once Sariol confessed and led police to the victims' bodies, most of their flesh had been eaten by animals. Sariol faces life in prison for his horrific, cowardly, and disgusting crimes. He took 2 innocent people's lives in a fit of jealousy and anger. Rockingham County Circuit Court Judge Bruce Albertson will officially sentence Sariol on February 12, 2019. In Harrisonburg, Theodore Whitelow, Breaking Through News.